Hi everyone, in today's video we're gonna take a look at my Ficus Ginseng. It has this name basically because the root system that you see here reminds a lot of people of the ginseng root, and this is how it got its name. Actually, as is often the case with these plants, this is actually the root, and then you have crafted onto it a different ficus variety, in this case a Ficus microcarpa with the smaller leaves. So basically you can see here at the stem some leaves shooting out here that are actually different looking than the ones up here. That is basically because it is a different variety that had basically other branches crafted onto it on the top. So it was cut here and then had like other branches crafted onto it. In today's video, actually what I want to do is give it a bit of a trim back. It is now the start of spring. I haven't trimmed this one back since basically last September. It has grown actually quite a bit also in winter because I kept it in quite a sunny space. And today actually I just want to basically prepare it for the growing season, trim it back so it has a lot of vigor again to grow and fill in nicely over the summer. So the first thing I actually want to do is cut back the ones down here. As I said, those leaves normally tend to grow even bigger than they are here. And they also really don't look that good down here, so I always cut them back when they appear. Normally at the start of growing season they appear, and sometimes also in September, but otherwise normally it doesn't shoot out that much from the bottom here basically. Also from the top, what I have seen now is that a lot of the growth is actually quite big, of this winter growth especially. This is mainly due to it getting still less sunlight in winter, of course, and the leaves growing bigger to basically capture more sunlight. And of course, that is not something I really find desirable on this tree, as I want to keep the leaves quite small. So I'm also going to prune that one actually quite considerably back to about 2 or 3 leaves, I would say. So I'm going to take all of this off basically. And we just go around the tree and do this basically. So we go in here, cut it off, also back here, try to get in here, yes, that was one leaf, and we take all of this off, and we go down here. There's also some new growth that I'm going to take off. Up here there's a lot of new stuff going on, so we're going to take all of this off. Also this one here has a lot of new big leaves, so I'm not really happy with that either. Let me turn it a bit to see what's going on in the back here. So we also see here still some of the growth that I mentioned is a bit too big for my liking, so I take this one out. Also this one. Of course, what happens when we cut back the tips is, as it is a ficus, you see white sap coming out. This is simply everything all the time happening with ficus varieties. I do recommend not to touch it directly because lots of people do react in an allergic way to it. So just either when you cut back, use gloves or wear gloves, or just try to avoid the white sap. Cutting it back like this should actually also have another benefit from it, and we should see when it starts to grow again, we should see some branching out on those spots where we cut. So always cut right above basically a leaf pair, so we should see new leaves forming on both sides, or on multiple sides at least, so we see a branching out over time. So here's still one new tip that I will cut back, so it can grow also new from here. Here in the back you can actually see it is quite dense. This is basically the area I did cut back already last September, so there was already some branching going on here, much more than here in the back before. Let me turn it around. Here you don't really see a lot of branches forming for a long time. This is simply because here I didn't really cut it back that much, so I just let it grow, and here it's much more dense, which I, to be honest, do prefer to the other side. So yeah, here we already have a new branch, so we'll keep this on. This one is quite small foliage, so we'll keep it on. And I think I do something a bit more drastic because I'm not quite happy with how empty it looks here, so we'll cut it back a bit. I will actually cut back all of this if it lets me with the scissors. We will see. Yes. Trying basically to get the tree to grow back from this point here, from a very much lower point, simply to fill out this area here. So as you can see, we actually cut back a lot of foliage now, and I would say it is all set up. Yeah, maybe not fully. I will still thin it out here a bit. But now I would say it is all set up for growing season. It will basically grow a lot of leaves again, so I'm not worried that it's gonna look any somewhat like empty or so for long. So it will basically brim with new foliage in just a couple of weeks. I will update you on the progress of this tree, basically when it has grown some new leaves. I will do a new video. And up until then, if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will answer them as soon as I see them. And I will see you in the next video, hopefully. Until then, goodbye.